Honorable Men Discord, tragedy in the Maldives. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So, earlier this week, the story broke about 5 Italian scuba divers that drowned in the waters in the Maldives. And when it broke, the first thing I thought about is how could that happen if they were experienced? But then it was discovered that they weren't trained to go to that depth. Now, they went further than most professionals would go. And to add insult to injury, they also were going into a cave. So this is the current update of what's been going on over there in the Maldives. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to talk about it further.
We have some sad breaking news on a story we were covering last week. The Maldives government say they found the bodies of 4 Italians who went missing in the country's underwater caves, and their disappearance prompted a massive search that also ended with one rescuer dying. Let's bring in CBS News correspondent Chanel Call. Chanel, how did all of this unfold?
Well, Mugo, this is a popular tourist destination. We were looking at those photos of the Maldives just a couple of seconds ago. You know, you've seen those photos of the crystal clear waters there. That, of course, is a big draw. It's also a really popular destination for people to go diving. Some of the best diving opportunities in the world happen in the Maldives. But then last week, we learned from authorities there that 4 Italian divers went missing. They were underground, underwater, that is, when they went missing last week. And today, a big update. I want to show you what Maldives National Defense Force posted on X earlier today, saying, quote, the bodies of 4 missing divers have been located on a joint search and recovery operation conducted by a large team. And it also goes on to say that further dives to be carried out in the coming days will happen to recover those bodies. So let's talk about who was part of this mission, who was part of this group. The victims, Mugo, have now been identified as Monica Montifalcone, an associate ecology professor at the University of Genoa. Her daughter, Georgia, also there. Marine biologist Federico Gualanteri, researcher Muriel Odenino, and a 5th victim, Mugo, a diving instructor, Gianluca Benedetti, was also recovered back on Thursday from near the mouth of this cave. So what went wrong here? Well, one expert that we spoke to said that this group actually descended to around 160 feet underwater. They say that is a dangerous level where things can certainly go wrong. They also say one of the things that can happen when you're that deep underwater is that you can almost feel impaired. Take a listen.
The reason we try not to go, recreational divers really shouldn't go over 100 feet, is what we call nitrogen narcosis. Things can go wrong very quickly. And if you don't know how to deal with it and how to stay calm and deal with it, it's not going to turn out well.
Now, just to put this into perspective, Mugo, this search for those missing divers was so incredibly dangerous that one diver that was part of the military team conducting the search and rescue operation actually died during the mission over the weekend.
Wow. Chanel Call, thank you.
So that's up to 6. So as they mentioned, the instructor was the first that was found. For some reason, you would have thought the instructor would have been further down ahead of them, but he was at the first opening, or I should say the opening of the cave, and the other 4 remaining divers were further down. Now, at the time of this recording, they found them, but they didn't recover the bodies as yet. So they're going to be going back down to retrieve the bodies, and it's just a sad situation. Even with the man that she mentioned that was a professional and who went down there to save them or retrieve them, I should say, and he perished. So it's just an unfortunate thing. I know there's some people out there that like these type of things for recreation, but you really have to go through the necessary training and be extremely thorough. Allegedly, it was said that they went down there with improper tools, because you're supposed to have more than one tank when you're going to that depth. Allegedly, they said that it was said that they only had one tank, where they were supposed to have at least three when you're going to those type of depths. But it's just a learning lesson, you know. If for those of you that are adventure seekers out there, for those of you that are experienced swimmers, experienced scuba divers, you know, you can never get to the point where you feel like there's nothing to worry about, or that you have it covered. There's always something that can be learned before you do things like this. And definitely don't take chances and go in depths that you've never explored before without the proper training to do those depths. But it's just an unfortunate thing for all the members, including the rescuer. This, what I have queued up here, is from X. And the reason why I'm showing this is because there is no way. Now, first of all, I'm not a great swimmer. In the process of going back to further my swimming lessons, but there is no way you're gonna get me to go through something like this. All right, I'm gonna blow this up so you can see it. I mean, there's no way. I mean, it looks amazing, but there's no way I'm gonna be in such a cramped spot like that. It's not for everyone. I know there's some people that see that and say, I want to try, but no. But again, this is an unfortunate thing. I think the only bright side to this, which is not much of a bright side, is that they actually found the other four bodies for the family's sake, so that they could have proper burial services for them. But this could have been avoided. It really could have been avoided. And I've seen some egregious things that were mentioned in some of the comment sections that people were saying about these members. I understand it was their choice to do what they did, but you don't want to celebrate people passing just from celebrating or enjoying life and exploring. It's not something I would choose to do, but you don't want to celebrate something like that, because God forbid you go on vacation and you do something and something happens to you. You wouldn't want people celebrating it or making fun of it online. But listen, that's my thoughts on all of this. Again, anything you do, thoroughly train yourself in that particular thing that you enjoy doing for your safety and for others. It's an unfortunate situation. But listen, that's all I have on this. As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, stay honorable.